WA should be simple, easy, right? There's no update on the water side. Say that.
Yeah. Still pending, maybe just say, still pending. Engineering.
We talked about the construction of the big or the old one.
Plans. I'm deferring. You didn't have to fight for it right now. And we've said it before. Yeah. All right, everybody, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Casey, will you please take roll call?
Bill,
Here.
James,
Here.
having last one, Mr. Ray, you do have a quorum.
Thank you. We will be beginning our Public Works Authority meeting, starting off with our consent agenda to approve the minutes from the April's meeting. Do I have a motion? I second.
Bill,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Mr. Revere, the motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 4, new business. Any new business? New business. Item number 5, Town Administrator Staff Reports, Public Works Report presented by Public Works Director, Mr. Busher.
I'm gonna go through the water system, monthly activity report for April 2026. Water system, changed all filters weekly. Your question last month of, have I spoke with somebody? I know Tony wanted to know. I did. Their report was no notice will change with their filter that they have in one as it is. So, daily chlorine residual taken, your vaccine pass. Vaccine sample was taken on the 21st. PFAS and PFOS was taken on the 21st as well. That's the first time for the town. We talked about it in the budget meeting. It's going to be expensive. They have to do it twice a year. So, as far as the results, they have to come back. So, if you don't get the results, they can give it to you whenever. Average free water was 18 feet at the lagoons. Your water produced last month was 1,761,250 gallons. Water sold was 1,748,000 gallons, which gave you a water loss of 0.75%. So we only couldn't account for 13,000 gallons. Customer with, the filtration system, there's no noticeable change. We had to replace chlorine pump in well number 2. The SCADA system in well number 1 had to be repaired several times last year. Replaced the well. Number 3, we had to replace the pumping motor, and then we also replaced 60 feet of inner line, the inner case, and it was terrible. Repair leak in well house number 2. Sewer system, there was no major sewer issues last month. Cemetery operations, we dug 4 graves, we assisted with 5 funerals. Met with 7 customers at the cemetery for numerous things. Headstone measurements, placements, marking their grave, marking their headstone, marking it. We'll have 4 total measured and marked graves. We did, after the big rain last month, we had 10 graves that we had to refill. Mowed cemetery twice, finished up the spraying of North African Cemetery. So the entire cemetery is sprayed, fences, outlying areas, everything. Street alleys and grounds. We had to remove 1 dead animal up around the road. Mowed the lagoons and the shooting range, police range twice. Mowed the community center 3 times. We got the brush hog going next to Colin on the tractor that the town has, the Massey Ferguson. We changed the blades on it. The brush hog works really well after all these years of not working. And we were able to use that at the lagoons. It takes a lot of pressure off the mower. Road improvements, the Way. We completed the Way up there by the water tower with gravel, dirt road. So, delivered 1 poly cart, picked up 4, turned on 1 new service. met with the school on the 23rd about 3 new meters that were found on school property. And did 4 inspections, 4 home inspections, and we did 46 OPD locations.
With the rain, did we see any water backups, anywhere, sewer backups in any homes? Or reports of it?
No, I don't have one for the report for next month. There was a backup last week.
Did you say there's multiple calls to repair one of the wells, so I won't go over that? Yeah, same problem, or
Their system keeps flowing to you for some reason, so they
did
can
you charge 4 times? No.
No, there's no charge to them. Those guys, they do these things. Anytime there's a problem, there's no charge to us. Matter of fact, I'll be able to report something to you next month on this case. If they're going to be huge. And no cost for it. That's it.
Cool, thank you. All right, update on water tower project by Administrator Munson.
Our loan through USDA is still on hold pending congressional funding. Senator Cole's office will try to take the congressional funding to the House and Senate floor in October. We should find out if we get the funding somewhere around January, February-ish, with the funds hopefully coming before April. If that happens, we would be able to start on the new water tower and it would be completely funded through their office. We have also submitted the earmark funding to Senator Armstrong's office, but I have heard nothing back from Senator Armstrong.
On whether it's approved or
That is
accepted.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No, sir.
Thank you. With that, that includes our Public Works Authority meeting. All right. Big packet here for our regular meeting. So we will call this meeting. Casey, please take roll call.
Joel,
Here.
James,
Here.
Tony is absent, but Mr. Ray, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Will everyone please arise with me for a pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, any proclamations or presentations? No? No? All right, item 4, executive session. The board of trustees may consider retiring to executive session for the purpose of consideration and discussion of personal matters, including duties of police chief in accordance with 25 OS section 37307B1. 2, consideration and discussion of personnel matter, including the duties of town administrator in accordance with 25 OS section 307B1. I would like to make a motion to enter into executive session.
Joel,
Yes,
James.
Yes.
Mr. Ray.
thank you. And as I'd like to ask for our attorneys, chief of police, please join us. Mr. Wanson. All right, everybody, please be patient. It's still recording, so. let's see what we get.
They're from the
That's right.
same firm.
Yeah. Cemetery.
Yeah. I do, do you want me to get you a copy? She will. But I can get you one. Yeah. Does anybody else want a copy of the agenda behind me?
It's a good thing about it, isn't it? It's okay right here.
Oh, yes. They have been all day. This one?
Brandon's, he lost his.
Oh, okay. It's for the south page. I think to the, I think from the townlands to the country.
I'll take it. This was pretty new. Yeah.
Carla, I put the agenda on your chair. And you're welcome. It's not constrained.
Yeah.
Tony, it's, I think he's out of state with you on, for his work, his military, active military. I don't think he's active military. I think that he does work. Yeah, I think it's still military, but I don't believe that. What is it? Last name, Brennan. Oh. Expand. You saw like one for the second. I took Spanish all 3 times in the I have been getting so many expensive. Makes them crazy. I was being to 9% loss. Yeah, that's what I said. Thank you. It's that page. I was gonna say, I was seeing gentlemen running around the door. Double that. Yes.
Wow.
This is considered part of That gives us spectrum to be. So there are two executive sessions on the agenda. There's an executive session now because one of the agenda items that's going to come later, the hiring so the board wanted to be able to meet with Ben and Brandon before that, to answer any questions. So there is a second, at the end, like the normal.
How are you?
Have you tried reading the reception in here? Looks terrible. Yeah. I bought one and they didn't. I think maybe staffing would be able to apply. Did you see? Yeah. Did you have? Okay. And she's like, I just don't want her to know what's going on great. She turned around, she was already in it. She was like, all right. Yeah.
Or budget, you know, stuff you can be where, that's not where 150 a man. I'm sure that's very important. But some of them can be. Take care of it, take care of it. I'm good. Yeah. I didn't take a bad. I don't. Just study.
Do you have a door that's? I just.
When's he turn? To the department? I was in the.
No, because they're. Oh, yeah. It's better.
It's, I think it's like Monday or, no, it is. So, some weeks.
Here it is. Straight.
What are you doing? Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Okay. we will, I guess, you make a motion to reconvene into regular session.
Joel,
Yes?
James,
Yes.
the motion carries.
Thank you. Regarding consideration, discussing personal matters, including duties of police chief and town administrator, no action. Okay, thank you. Moving on to consent agenda. So do I have a motion regarding the consent agenda? Or anything that anybody would like to remove? No? I'll make a motion to approve as written.
Joel,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carries.
Thank you. Item 6A, consideration of possible approval, denial, amendment, or revision of ordinance 26-5.3 regarding amending section 131 town administrator and section 170 purchasing, creating the position of public safety administrator, providing for supervision, administration, discipline, and coordination of police and emergency management functions of the town, providing for certain reporting and purchasing authority and status of non-full-time police officers. So with that, Mr. Wanzig, do you want to do the presentation? Or-
I'd like to.
Yes.
So the town of Washington is wanting to rebrand. We're looking for a new look. We have decided that bringing in a public safety administrator to come over the emergency management side, so be over all incident command structures, all large scale incidents that happen within the town limits of Washington, as well as come in and be in charge of all police functions throughout the town of Washington. This person would be involved in the school activities. He is going to be a gentleman that I'm sure everybody already knows and doesn't need an introduction. He is a good faith, godly man. He's going to come into the town. He is going to represent us in a fashion that we are looking for. He is already at all of our town functions. We have worked together routinely throughout the last 5 or 6 years. You want to announce?
Yeah, so with that, I'd like to announce Clay Klein as our new town public safety administrator. Clay, would you please stand up? Thank you. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind saying a couple words for everybody, introduce yourself for those who don't know you.
I don't mean to turn my back to the board here. I'm honored to be here. I'll kind of give you a little bit about me. I was born in Michelle, grew up on a farm in Gillespie, and I went to high school in Lansing. So I'm like the junior version of 8 miles. I was born 8 miles that way, grew up 8 miles that way, and went to high school 8 miles that way. That being said, I've lived in this town for 15 years more. I've been a member of the church here for about 30. I started up in the Lane County Sheriff's Office April Fool's Day in 1996. We believe that. And it was started there. In fact, get too emotional here. Gary said, I'm not hiring. Gary Wilson did. So I served there for 3 years at the Sheriff's Office and then served 3 years at the Newcastle Police Department. And I've been 25 in Oklahoma City. It's been a great career up there. I'm not leaving bad terms at all. In fact, still this area, place that career has been really good too. Got to live down here the whole time in Plain County, and it's important here. And a few people, us people, us, how you say that. Hope to bring a lot of experience and professionalism. I've got experience in everything from detective. So I run the emergency response team. I currently assigned to police community relations. I'm like an open door. I say open door, you might have a phone number, you find it on the internet, if not, I'll give it to you. I work off 2 phones. I work off one, that phone right there, it's got my wife and my dog's picture on it. My kids are grown, so they'll be on there. I'm really honored to be here. I prayed a lot about this. I always wanted to bring my experience back home, and that's what I got, a lot of experience up there. Yeah. But it's not where I lay my head. This place is very important to me. It always has been. It's an honor to be here. If anyone has any questions, fire away now, or you can wait till afterwards. But I'm pretty easy to find. Very easy to find. It's like walking there.
Is it gonna make any changes to the current, what we have, because we only have 2 officers right now.
Correct.
Are you gonna fill in the third for that?
Clay, you want to take that?
Yeah, take it. Here, let Brandon go ahead and address it.
The structure with the police department right now is we do have one paid reserve. We will eliminate that position. We no longer have a paid reserve position. We will have unpaid reserve positions. We will have 2 full-time police officers. Chief Ruiz will remain the chief of police, and then Clay is going to come in as the public safety administrator and be over the police department.
So by having this, we're gonna have a couple.
Clay will actually be our police officer at nighttime. Clay will respond to all calls both day and night, basically 24/7. Ruben will still remain on.
The reason I'm asking is, if y'all know, my house has been, my stuff's been broken into twice. We had dozens broken into once, and it's all at night. There's not much that goes on back here during the day. I mean, we can control our own town, all the time. That's why I'm asking, there needs to, that's,
And
if we're eliminating the one shift,
you do understand, we do not have a police officer at nighttime currently.
what time does Larry get off?
11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So from 11 o'clock at night till
6,
8:30, we do not have a police officer. So
Yeah.
what Clay and I respond to as mid shift or second shift, we do not have a hoot owl shift. We do not have a night shift police officer. There is no night shift patrol in the town of Washington currently. So we're not doing away with the night shift officer. We're doing away with a mid shift officer, which Clay will actually be out doing those patrols.
Okay.
And I'd like to jump in. So I want to be accessible 24/7. That sounds like a lot. And it is.
Yeah.
Do I want to be able to do the rest of my life? Not necessarily, but in some ways, many ways I will be. Meaning, if a call comes out, I plan to be there quickly. And I'm very good at that.
Yeah.
It's very efficient. I'm not the guy that
Oh, no,
ready to go.
we know each other.
You know, it's-
Be honest. Be honest. I mean, we know each other personally.
Yes, we do. So that's, and common response time can be, well, it'll rightly think that, I mean, it's not some area here. At a large department where the county has 24-hour coverage, one at a time, and call 911, goes to a call taker. It could be in a true emergency situation, 12 minutes, I believe, what we need for that, what they should work on the city. Here, I'm hoping it's got in at least a couple of steps, right, where, all right, be there, and they can learn this, maybe not. The issue of hours, and that's an important issue, is, I don't know, it's gonna be all the time. And sometimes, I mean, we're gonna drive every 24/7. No, that's unreasonable. Unreasonable expectation. And what is reasonable is for me to be present with the meeting majority and to go, hey, we're going, this is what's wrong, everything I'm doing, it's important, we need to handle that. There's not a ton of calls here, I don't know the exact number, but I know the town. And I
That's
know
not fair. Be like,
call every night, and so when something happens, we want to respond and give professional service. Yes, sir.
what about traffic control?
Traffic control.
Because I live on the road and
I'm sorry. Oh, you said
Moorhead Fire.
Moorhead Pike, sorry. I'm sorry.
But without the duty officer on duty, the traffic goes through here, is the same.
Yeah, well, I tell you,
Slow him down, who's gonna be slowing the traffic down?
right, that'll be some. And the other officer.
Excellent.
Every night.
25 to 11.
Well, no, I'm not moving to there for 2 hours a day or 8 hours a day, so that's.
Well, he got like that there, he's moving all around town. He's there to slow the traffic.
Yes, sir.
Because we have, yes, it's like they have him on a party line, says, okay, Larry, come down, so we can drive like them.
I understand that. Those are some problems that we need to address, and I'll be glad to do that. Be glad
I
to-
really hated it, we're getting rid of Larry. I want that on record. And my name is Mac Lambert. I've lived here for 22 years. And this is,
Understood, understood.
You know, we've grown old in this town. I'm Donna and his wife.
Yeah.
Donna. And we've always felt safe. Because Larry quit. Ruben's quit. if we don't have somebody that we can depend on, but I don't know you from Adam, I'm sorry.
No,
I
that's
don't know
okay.
you from Adam.
That's a reasonable concern.
But having a marked unit, leaving the streets, people see that.
I'm gonna be.
Yeah, but you're not gonna be, well, we're talking about is at night, when they're already out. Because you'll just sit unmarked and watch what the traffic does.
I think what she's saying is adding you is a step in the right direction, it's good, but we should have still kept at least a second paying officer on staff.
I agree.
That's,
So,
I think that's the general.
Noted.
Maybe good.
I do need to, we're starting to get off topic on what is on the agenda. So, no, it's not. So please stop. Thank you. Thank you. So again, we have to stay in consent on this agenda.
You don't want my
I do want an opinion. Okay.
Anybody else have any questions for me before I say that? I will, say it again. Yeah, I will do my best to make everybody happy.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. You want to still stand and you want to ask me?
You.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to know more. You said emergency and all that, are you going to have a place for? Question I get a lot is, where do people go if there's a tornado? Or what, emergency things, how are we going to, do you do any of that?
Yes, I've got experience on it.
And so that'll
Yes,
be,
yes.
that'll be a focus of his, is to create those emergency plans. Tornado comes through town, what is our action plan? Tornado warning happens, what can be expected? This place will be open, people can go here, or what the situation needs. So he'll be focused in.
People ask questions, nobody knows, where do we go? We get to go to that church, then there was a time you could go to the country or used to be the
Well, we just need to move.
things like that, so that's what people want to know.
So,
We can't wait till the tornado happens to find out where we go.
so Clay will hold the civil defense director position, and the responsibility of that position is to determine those things. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
What's the point of his position and just what is like?
So what are we still okay to answer?
It's relevant to the ordinance that's before the board.
So the intention behind this is to add focus in our public safety area. What we have seen in this community over the past year is a large increase in the amount of activity of bad actors. And we feel like that there needs to be additional attention and focus brought in to coordinate and address those needs. With the, and then with in addition to that is that on the emergency management side, the direction and the ask from the board to determine and to establish guidelines, practices, and policies and involvement with our emergency management department outside of what Justin and the fire department are already doing, specific for what is within the town outside of fire needs. We want somebody who is going to be driving and expected to coordinate and run mission command or mission control on those situations. Thank you. That should a tornado come through town, he pulls out the map and says, you go here, here, and here. Chief Brazil, the police department, EMS, he is helping to run that instant command so that when those individuals are out in the field doing the things, that we have somebody who already has a playbook out that could say, this is what we do without a moment's hesitation or having to rely on the state to come in. Also, the differentiation between the public safety administrator and the town administrator is that we want the town administrator to remain focused on the planning, zoning, public works, future, what's coming down the pipeline for the town that requires more future attention that can potentially be distracting by the emergent needs of the here and now of specific situations. Where what we're seeing today, even with Brandon, is that there may be an incident that happens in town. He's being pulled away from a meeting with somebody that has come in from the Capitol. This may, I'm not sure it's a relevant example, but pulled away from a meeting or a conversation that he's having, planning for a future instance that needs to go out and address. So again, Brandon's role, future planning, coordination with public works, providing focus and attention on water, sewer, also development that is quickly becoming a growing concern, so that we are prepared and can tell people how the town of Washington wants to be developed or does not want to be developed. And we have something in writing that is enforceable. Then Clay on the public safety side. I know it's a higher level, but that's the intent on that. Did that help to address anything, or do you have any follow-up questions on that? Okay.
I have a question. Can we not afford to keep the reserve evening on too?
At the time, no, we cannot. We've been having discussions about establishing a volunteer reserve program and trying to grow and develop that. So that's another thing that Clay will be working on. Brandon, anything that you'd like to add, or anybody else to the board? Okay, thank you. All right, so with that, I will make the motion to hire Clay Klein as the public safety administrator.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
clarification, the agenda.
Creating the position, thank you. All right, I will make a motion to create the position of public safety administrator as written in section 6A.
And approve the ordinance.
And approve ordinance 26-5.3, section 131 and 170.
Joel,
Yes,
James,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carries.
thank you. All right. 6B, consideration and possible approval, denial, postponement, or other actions regarding ordinance 26-5.4, the repeal in part of ordinance number 23-1 concerning the de-annexation of certain properties. Mr. Wansick, will you please give us a summary of the property?
These properties are just south of my house. If you know where I live on 24, it would be Cimarron Rap and Mr. God be here. Thank you. Both of the properties were actually illegally annexed by the town many moons ago. Mr. Godby here, when he purchased his house, was told he was not in town property, and then later found out that the town had improperly annexed him. We are just doing our due diligence. Neither one of them want to be annexed into the town. So we have written up with our council a de-annexation clause so that they can go back into the county limits. Unincorporated limits.
All right. Any comments from the board? No. Do I have a motion?
Motion approved.
Can I have a second?
Sorry, yes, second.
Joel,
Yes.
James.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Item 6C, consideration of possible approval, denial, amendment, or revision of resolution 26. Did I read this? No. Resolution 26-5.1, adopting an updated cemetery fee schedule, reaffirming town involvement in cemetery operations, and establishing reimbursement allocation. So in light of recent news and announcement, we will Do we want to tape or
No, it
you would
involves.
like to make a recommendation?
It
or
involves,
suggestion?
it involves, the action item specifically says reaffirm town involvement, so I can go into what exactly happened over the last week.
All right.
Darlene, can I see that paper? Luckily, I don't see picture books in here, so. Okay, this is actually really hard to do. Over the last month, I've spent many hours working with our cemetery committee to try to come up with a resolution that benefited both the Washington Cemetery and Washington. The last 20 months, the town of Washington has not taken a dime during either one of the cemetery accounts. I was transparent and brought the cemetery committee in, and I went through all of our transactions step by step. The cemetery committee saw that we had not taken anything from the funds. Now, that is in line to some money that was taken. We won't get into that. Pass right now. It will come out in the next 60 days or so. Okay? The cemetery committee and I, as a whole, came up with what I thought was a beautiful plan to not only reimburse the town of Washington some of the money for the expenses that they are being spent and labor at the cemetery, but put more money in the cemetery perpetual care fund and the cemetery maintenance fund than state allotments. And it has been said that the town of Washington was probably doing the cemetery a bigger favor than any town in the state of Oklahoma. Last week, I'm a man of the word. I got a phone call and said, hey, you're doing something. No. Yeah, you're doing something. The gentleman that called me, I kept pushing. When he kept pushing, I found, by a buddy of mine, a Attorney General resolution that says it is therefore the official opinion of the Oklahoma Attorney General that municipalities do not have the authority, express or imply, to use municipal resources to improve, maintain the grounds of, maintain the records for, or collect and remit payments for plots in a privately owned cemetery that is open to the public. I went to my attorney and I said, I need the deeds, Washington Cemetery. We need to figure out if it's a public cemetery in the town or if it's a private cemetery. I got my quitclaim deed that truly limits the Washington Cemetery to the Washington Cemetery Association. It's 6 acres. There is a lifestyle that the town purchased the rest of the cemetery from the Pipe Estate. The problem is, no. Well, that's a Pipe Estate first. Money market, the terms were a different section. So the Pipe Sisters, they purchased, it was 10 acres from the Pipe Sisters, 6 acres from, thank you, Cummins. 88, think so. And then they would have purchased the other land from the Turners, maybe in Washington Cemetery. Back then, cemeteries were kind of set outside of town limits on the hill.
Basically, just given to the town, I mean, you see on this one, $10 for 6 acres. So it was together with change, it was given to the town, correct?
It was, you were probably right.
The $10 is not a price, it's legally the thing is, we don't put the price then.
That's what you're paying for.
Yeah, so it's per total, everyone's given to the town.
And here's the deal. We can sit here and debate this all day long. The fact of the matter is, the only deed that is discoverable for the town cemetery makes it private property. The Attorney General has ruled it is unlawful for me to do any work at the cemetery. On anything. I don't have anything telling me that the other property is not private.
So is there no deed or transfer of title on any of the other I'll pull those, I'll have a little really pull those in the morning just to see what we need to do. I mean, that's what it is for living. I'll have Jeff run those in the morning. and see what we need.
Yeah, I've researched.
I mean, we have a little hand, I mean, I can play too, so I'll have Jeff run those in the morning. And see if we can find a way.
I can, if they actually, if I'll have it, then let's go meet a girl.
So it'll be Indian time, it'll be in the travel, it'll be.
Yeah. Several 3 years ago, it is a sit to forward to, so we'll be down there. And I have been going very long. But yeah, great. I love it. I love it. Thank you.
And like I said, Brandon, I'll just give Jeff your number, little brother, and he can go in and it'll take him 2 hours. Like, that's what I'm thinking for a living.
Currently, we're correct. The town has two options. The town can let the cemetery go back to the board of the cemetery association. So the town people can create a board. Who appoints that board? We're not sure yet. It's either, are we sure?
Once the association or a cemetery corporation is created, then the board will be created by a vote of, well, whoever's in charge, whoever starts it, and then we'll go through bylaws and all that stuff.
Yes, no, this is new.
It would be a new one. And then we would have, and we've already talked with the civil side of the DA's office, county commissioners, all that kind of stuff. They would be involved in officially kind of conveying operations to the newly created corporation, and then it would be off and running from there. That's one option.
Second option would be for, the county commissioner or the governor, I'm not sure which, whoever the attorney general says, to give the land back to the town of Washington. If that were to happen, I have full faith that the board would probably vote on the plan that I had set forth, with refunding the town of Washington the money, still putting the money back into perpetual care funds. Maybe it's what I can promise you is
When did the town take over the cemetery? Because we had Leonard Keith, who was not a town employee.
He was the last one.
He was the last one who went around with it. Like we had.
He was a separate entity, he was not a town person. Everything been, well, way back then, before all the hell was born. The people, the town would dig the graves themselves. Then at some time or another, they got equipment. They got equipment for a while. The county could come in and dig his grave. Individual, like, as Paul says, that go out and dig it for big graves. If you had the board or whoever was in charge of the cemetery, say, and of course, they had their liability insurance and things like that. And we went out and people worked in the cemetery. We had a beautiful cemetery before it got upgraded, bulldozing all the rose bushes and the things like that out, make it easier to mow. And it worked.
It worked to an extent. It worked as far as people doing everything on the spot. We've had to uninterrupt people because people were just giving the authority wherever they wanted to. So the town.
That is not something that just happened in the past. That happened.
So.
Yeah.
And we're also in a different day and age, right? Where if the volunteers out there mowing, he knocks over a headstone, who's paying for that $5,000 headstone?
They always had people, who mowed had their own insurance.
They didn't have $5,000 heads.
But,
They didn't have $5,000 heads.
no, what do they now?
Way over than that.
Yeah, but they, like mine's been for $9,000 for something hit. So, yeah.
But once again, like I said on Facebook, this town has a great habit of bringing up 25 years ago. I'm not 25 years ago. I am right here, right now. I am here to move forward. Clay is here to move forward. Mayor, I'm telling you, we're here to move forward.
But I like to kind of know a little bit Little Keith was the last living person of that association. And when he died, everything died. I talked to Cheryl, she said the records, apparently the records were probably in the stuff that was wet and open. And got thrown out before you became. It's got nothing to do with you. So there's no records. I mean, there is, I've researched on it, thank goodness they're gonna take up. To find out when the Turners, because the Turners are the ones that actually gave the property to the land for the town of Washington. So I'm assuming that they gave a lot of the land also to the cemetery.
You know, because
And that
somebody
was such a
paid the
practice.
taxes on all that land somehow, because if it's still privately owned by the Turner's Trust, I'm making it a Turner's Trust. Somebody's paying the taxes on it somehow, but unless it's been turned over to, if it's still privately held. It has to be. I mean, that's just how that works. So it won't find it. It won't be
I
hard.
didn't know that we're paying.
That's what I'm saying. It may be one of those that's. That's what I'm saying, but if it's still private to the Turners and was never transferred to the cemetery board.
But it shows that it is.
That's what I'm saying. If it's in the cemetery association, there's a transfer of title in there somewhere there has to be. For it to be a non-tax item. So that's what I'm saying.
Right.
If you will find it, yeah, I'll just have to, like I said, we'll take care of it. I'll wait for it.
So whether it was donated or sold to somebody or whatever, it is a private right now.
That's the only thing that I have.
Considered a private cemetery,
Until I find their.
but for public use.
Correct.
So you figure.
Yeah, but it's not, what they're saying is, it's like an on-cue. On-cue owns it, but it's owned with the public. So until it gets transferred to the city or however you want to do it, the city can't really do it.
Laws and things. Lexington is a privately owned cemetery open to the public. Wayne is a privately owned cemetery open to the public. They have boards that are over them and they pay a groundskeeper to be out there all the time. We're working off of the assumption that this was a town-owned cemetery, that our town employees were taking care of.
Quick question. So, Mr. Robertson, when you were on the board, was there ever discussions about the cemetery adoption or control over the cemetery or? Oh, but nothing got presented to the board or the board did not do anything?
Never been last one.
I guess that's them.
Yeah, what'd you ask?
But
Just the reason why.
But you're currently. No, I don't think it's relevant. I think what you said is this.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions? Yes, sir.
I'm not a citizen, but I'm actually. Yeah, I understand. I know that you can't spend public money, private property. I understand. One thing I know from my years in the cemetery business, just like Lexington, it was a town-run cemetery. The town did not take care of it. The town allowed the cemetery association to take it over. They've taken it over. Actually, on our deeds, it says we can give it back to the town, provided not to. I personally can't prove it, but I guarantee you, I think if you go back far enough, it's gonna be under Washington. And if we took it over because the town wasn't doing what they wanted to. Because you had citizens back then that cared more than this younger generation does now, and that's against anything. But they would step up and solve problems with their own sweat and tears and blood. So to get back to the nuts and bolts of the whole thing, you have to put a drain gauge with 6 acres on it. There's a whole bunch of acres out there, there's a gauge. And he's talking about looking that up. I think that would be due diligence for everybody as far as the board. So I think that's a great thing, and I think you guys should look into it. because it's a great possibility. But there's one thing that I am sorely concerned about that was written on it online, because I am in the industry and I know how it works. You say that a funeral home is responsible for marking the grave. How are they gonna do that? Are you gonna leave this door open so we can come in here and get at a book? And look
I
at
will
the
be,
map? Is somebody
I've already been in the cemetery, they've already been given the directive, I will be on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When they call me, I will be in that office with that red book, trying to figure it out. No, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I am going to have to call Casey and say, Casey, help me through this. But yes, sir, it's already been addressed. The funeral homes, all 3 of them will give them my personal cell phone number. As soon as they call me, we'll meet down here in that office to open that red book and figure out what the grade is.
We don't mix it, so.
We're not making lines because I'm doing it on.
He's just trying to help.
Yeah, so, I mean, the town has been taking care of things. So we're in this grayish area where we also, and this is our community, and we also don't want to just let things fall
Right.
into chaos. So Brandon has been appointed the single point of contact for all these things to make sure that there's one voice and communication. He will do the steps that are necessary to make sure that families are taken care of. That's priority number 1. Families are taken care of.
And look, I want everybody to be aware, this was not my intention. I had gone to each one of you, we had a beautiful plan set in place to take care of the cemetery for the rest of the time. This plan was set in place.
After we created our association, or whatever,
We'll come back and have a different conversation.
then you guys were to do your job. With guidance. If they are. No, I don't think they will take the feedback.
We'll have a different conversation. I will tell you, I'm not the type of individual to think.
Oh, no.
So we'll have a different conversation. And
But there's a difference between the town business, that land in the community. that's
Oh, I-
figuring out every year.
I agree with you.
So motions come in no matter what.
Right.
That also means people are gonna be able to step up.
Agreed. And that, well, like I said in the meeting, I mean, we spent 2 hours hashing out the best deal the cemetery could have ever.
I just don't want the town washing its hands of all of it because it is screwed up.
I don't disagree with you.
Where it being screwed up is because none of us were paying attention. Somebody was saying, we got this, we're trusting, let it go, and our people going. We didn't do our job as a community. But the town got over its head, it couldn't be money until it was right out, until not a few months. It's like starting from scratch. We're hoping we can start it together.
I don't disagree with you. I was trying to do that.
No.
You can help me sometimes.
Not after 8, right?
Not after this.
Wait a done today.
I can't say that I'll be.
Since, like, we don't need to do this.
No,
Would it be
And I may
to
be,
have approval?
I may
Or
be.
Yeah.
So what I advise the boards, or what I think, and what we're all under the agreement is we're going to take this,
It's one.
the action.
Yeah.
And that way we can revisit it if we need to. But as of right now, it's table.
This will do that.
I will be out there hopefully next weekend, this weekend, next weekend. Hoping there's gonna be a whole crew with me, so that we can get an hour here, so I'm not taking too much time away from the full guy. But we will not let the cemetery look bad. We will not let the cemetery look bad from tomorrow. We're not washing our hands. I'm still gonna be out there doing it. What I'm telling you is, this is Attorney General's decision, especially the predicament we're currently in. I ain't gonna mess with it.
The biggest issue like right now, the biggest sad thing about this is most people on Memorial Weekend give donations to the cemetery. So now anybody that.
I will tell you, Darlene, we will not take a penny.
I know. I can't tell you anybody that I would want to.
Right.
Because it is a mess. So, I mean, that's the worst thing that could have happened. I know, it's not your fault. I know.
You'll get straight.
Absolutely, Tim.
So you do still have signs?
We're not taking
that
them,
can go into that.
guys.
And I don't think a QR code is-
What did you say?
We have signs that would allow donations to be made into the city account set aside for the cemetery.
I mean, those are sitting in perpetual care fund.
Okay.
Maybe they're
Taking it
teaching
out.
Right.
but they're probably not.
Should we put them out?
Reject them? Is that what you?
I mean, should we take the donations?
Just saying.
I don't think there's any harm in it right now.
Okay.
I mean, the idea, I think everyone's of the same mind. The idea is to figure out who the heck owns this thing, who's gonna operate it, and then figure out this, I mean, we know the steps depending on what we find out. And the county's on board, everybody's on board. I mean, I was glad to hear this discussion tonight because I was talking to the DA's office earlier today and they wanted to know, does the town want to be involved in this or not? So job one, figure out who owns this thing, and land ownership's a little bit different from operations. And that's where we would have the county come in because someone said we're kind of starting over. That's what we're going to do. There's been honestly a few different items for the town of Washington where we've had to start over because they haven't been able to find the records. That's what we're going to do here so that everybody has a clear direction. I love the idea of volunteers, but I think all of you would probably agree that you'd like personnel where there's set schedules and everybody knows what they're doing in perpetuity, or at least for a long period of time. So that would be the goal.
All right, with that, we will, on item C, we will take no action.
Both of the funeral homes in Purcell have people to dig the graves. I also have two individuals through other entities that can dig the graves within 24 to 48 hours if I call. Yeah, I promise you, it is already taken care of. We're not going to let, if somebody's family member passes away, they will have the utmost dignity that they could possibly have. I just can't use town resources until we get a decision.
And those bank accounts will remain frozen with no money coming out.
They have actually been, I went to First United Bank and I froze the bank accounts. Both the mayor and I have to go sign to reopen them.
That's what he was asking. I don't really see any harm in that right now, just because it's going to sit in that perpetual care fund and nobody's going to be accessing or utilizing it. So to the extent it does come out that it goes into a pre-existing or newly created organization, then all of that money goes there. And if not, then it's already in the town's coffers.
Doesn't speak the line.
The bank accounts, just so y'all, I mean, like I said, I'm transparent, guys. Y'all don't look at my password. It's probably Natalie or something like that. So you got two bank accounts associated with the cemetery. You've got your cemetery reserves and capital improvement fund here, and then you've got your cemetery operations fund. You'll see when you go to the cemetery capital improvements fund, it's literally all deposits throughout all of time. The online transfers are when we're paid. 8866 is my general account back into the cemetery operations and improvements fund. So there's not money coming out of this account. This account was set up, and I can show you when it was set up. The account was set up August 16th of 2024. Now that coincides with Micah being hired. I understand some of you were not a big fan of him. What I can tell you after being hired by the town, Micah did his due diligence and he was doing everything right. The man knew exactly what he was talking about, and he was damn good at his job. At some point, someday, I hope to be as good with the finances as he was. I doubt I will ever get there. But he did the cemetery truly a favor, and he took the cemetery account from $0 to where we're at today at $92,073. When you go back into the operations fund, there is a little bit of money that has come out. Mike, I'm going to pick on you real quick. But when you go to some of the checks, you've got, Mike Donovan was paid. I'm not sure what services he does. I think it was cheeseburgers and pizza. Beer. Okay. We're not on town property. I've already told you I can, when we're paying people like Mike Donovan, that is when the family has either requested that somebody else dig a grave. Maybe one of the town employees was not available to dig a grave. The funeral home wanted somebody specific to dig a grave. There was some extenuating circumstance that we needed as a town to get somebody else to come in and dig that grave. Okay. So a check was written to that individual to come in and dig that grave. That's the only money that you're seeing coming out. Right here, right, 2025, but it's still the same thing. So our grave digging, $650. Casey, do you know why this was only wrote for $640? Oh, refund for opening and closing. Right. Thank you, Casey. Here you've got, I can't read that. Fixing the mower. Monument set fee permit refund. So what I'm getting at is we're not paying the town. The town has not been taking a dime of money from the cemetery. So and I say this politely, all this kicking and screaming that I hear on Facebook, that the town's skimming money from the cemetery, it ain't happening. Micah had this thing set up beautifully, and he did exactly what he was paid to do. So he did do more. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So I would challenge each one of you, whether you liked the man or not, to maybe send an email just saying, hey, we just saw how much you did for the town of Washington Cemetery. Thank you for all your actions, because he damn sure deserves that. Okay.
May I ask you a question quick?
Yes, sir.
Right now, the way it says, for the cemetery, is it the best interest of the town right there? The way it's been.
I think that's a question for another meeting. I think once we have all the information, that we then come together as a group and say, what do we all want to do?
I meant before all this, I'll make your meeting, what happened.
Go ahead.
Do I think it's the best interest of the cemetery for the town? Absolutely. Do I think it's the best interest of the town to take care of it until we know who actually owns it? Absolutely not. The town needs the town resources and not getting paid back, and it's costing the town money. And that's why the conversation was brought up, we've got to get this thing right now as we're going through everything. That way it's not a future problem.
Mr. Mallory, you're asking three questions. The first is it in town administrator Brandon Wanzik's best interest for the town to have that cemetery? No, it's a headache. Is it in the best interest for the town to have that cemetery? No, it costs us a lot of money. Unfortunately, is it in the best interest for the cemetery, for the town to be in control of it? Yes. But
I just wanted to point out that, hey, we're appreciative of everything and everything that's done, and just want to make sure it's all right, that there's not a headache. We very much appreciate it.
And what I would like to come out of this, especially y'all going forward, is to realize that the town was actually doing what was right. I am incredibly grateful to have this job. But a lot of people said a lot of bad things about a gentleman that was in here trying to do some good, whether he was a town boy or not. And I'll say it to his face, did he know how to talk to people like this? No. Was he doing good? Absolutely. He really, truly deserves an email saying, thanks for what you did for the cemetery. Thanks for what you did for the town. He brought us out of the bad hole. So if even one email comes out of this, I've kind of done my job.
Bye.
Item 6D, consideration of possible approval, denial, amendment, or revision of payment in the amount of $4,500 to Delta Community Action Foundation to continue delivery of food from the Senior Citizen Center to area residents, as well as transportation of area residents to and from appointments. So with that, we've asked Delta Community Action Foundation to provide us some information on how many meals they're providing or delivering or transportations that they have provided. Are you pulling that up? So Brandon's going to pull up some numbers so that everybody is aware of what that is. We asked the same question about 2 years ago. The numbers haven't changed. I'm sure I'm not misquoting, so let me get that pulled up.
Well, if I can find it. Do what? Did I have it under Delta? I just saw Delta Dental. Oh, there it is.
That was for me. So that was 23. So that was what I was referring to.
Casey, how did you do? You go to deleted, right?
You can change it from deleted to all, if you just search the inbox, it's not gonna pull up everything that it was. So in the upper left part.
There you go.
All right. So at our 1 square mile, we deliver 4 meals per day, about 22 days per month, which equals 1,056 meals per year. And then they drove 300 or 739 miles to deliver. So we have 4 meals going out per day to individuals. One of the things I wanted to just get off my chest or clear the air is that we're paying, what is it?
$6.32 a mile,
$6.32 a
I think.
mile.
roughly.
Delta Transit, they charge, I think it's $3 to transfer people to and from appointments. So there is a higher cost for transferring meals. There was a new program that was federally funded called, I don't say
Who pays for the meals here though? Does that come out of Delta?
No, I believe that comes out of the county tax.
Senior citizen, the tax that was passed for the seniors. Senior center. So I want us to just press pause, have a conversation about it. I like to get feedback from individuals here on, do they feel like it's there's value there? Should we look at maybe an alternative option? Is anybody from the senior center willing to transfer these 4 meals? Or also I've reached out to another organization, which I could find it.
Well, and we also don't know if these 4 meals, this is me just doing the simple math. We also don't know if these 4 meals are 2 married couples where they're only going to 2 houses. So then it makes your math a whole lot worse. Because if you just divide it by 2, no, these are just 4 meals. So they're just saying 1 meal per day to 4 individuals. But we don't know if both of these individuals live in the same house. We don't know. So my question is when the mayor came to me and asked, y'all know I like to get out and talk to people. And I'm like, well, hell, I could probably take a couple of meals to some old people and eat lunch as well. I mean, they'd probably like to talk to me, or maybe they wouldn't. They might kick me out of their house. I don't know. Either way, it'd be fun, right? I've been kicked out of a wedding before. I'd like to get kicked out of a house. Could the town help supplement this if it was going to save us $2,000 or $3,000 a year? That's the only question we're asking right now.
Yeah, we still want to find a way to serve those that have the need. Is this the right avenue to do that? I've asked a question to this new federal grant program that has a regional rep assigned to McLean County. If this type of thing is something that can be funded from that funding. So she's asking her supervisor if that's an option. I had a conversation yesterday with them about that in detail. This program, for anybody that's also interested, also provides transportation to seniors to and from appointments, going from one house to the other. Essentially glorified taxi Uber service that is geared toward seniors, and it's no cost to them. So I'm trying to find out more information. Once I get more information, I'll share that, or we will share that with everybody so that everybody can take advantage of it. So what are you guys need some?
What about the wheelchair access and all the stuff they offer in their vehicles that, the one, you know, capable, that kind of stuff?
So this is not, that's a totally different service. That's transport. So we're not even looking at the transport. This is just strictly meal delivery.
If it's within 1 mile.
Darlene, I haven't asked that question yet, partly because I'm a little scared to go down there. You know. Amanda? I will ask those questions. Give us just a little more time. Y'all are asking the same questions that we were both asking ourselves. That's really expensive.
So what I guess I would like James to do is take no action on this so we don't kill it. Find out more information. This is for the next fiscal year. Gather some more information so that we don't cut off something that is a real need, but that somebody depends on, right? Or if is it out of convenience or that necessity? I think we can gather more information and also make sure we're still serving those people that have a need in order that we're communicating it to people that service is there. So with that, we'll take no action on it then. Good. Okay. Item 6E, consideration of possible approval, denial, amendment, or revision of expenditure in an amount not to exceed $1,690 for Cedar Hills Housing addition signage, including speed limit signs and stop signs.
It's up on the TV.
Okay. So what we have here is a request from the Cedar Hills addition from their HOA representative that there have been residents that have requested signs to be posted. This was not done during the development of the addition. So this amount would cover stop signs, speed limit signs, your poles, and estimate for labor. I believe the labor we could probably cover in whole or in part from the town. Do you have something with that?
I do apologize because I know that you're working through it already. We are in the process of ordering some more street signs for the town. And I can tell you right now that those prices that he is projecting are not enough to cover the actual cost of those items.
Right. That's you.
Where is so we have where we bring the signs, yeah. All of our signs for our streets have been coming from American and
We just have to check the DMC. I think that they do.
Some sense.
Yeah. So we have been in contact with them regarding all of the other signs, the specific street signs we're ordering that have the town's logo on them they're a little bit nicer, a little fancy, far more reflective for our first responders to be able to see at night. But the speed limit signs specifically, we have reached out to 7, I think, different vendors, and all of their prices are far more than these estimates.
Look at DMC or standard.
Well, before we get into the sign pricing, I want to paint a little bit of a bigger picture as a retired law enforcement officer. Can anybody tell me what the speed limit is on a street that is not posted in the state of Oklahoma? Oh, right. You actually know? That's crazy.
25.
And can 45 on a county road, 25 on a city. So we all know the speed limit on a street that's not posted, right? Everybody in this room knew that. Do speed limit signs make you not speed? No. Education, enforcement, and engineering make you not speed, right? So this speed limit sign going up is not going to do anything for this neighborhood that is one way in, one way out, and the only individuals driving in this neighborhood are the residents themselves? Great question. I was waiting on somebody to ask for that. So, thank you, Darlene.
We police that for speed.
We do. We do police that for speed.
Speed sign does give you the right to get a ticket.
No, listen, a non-speed limit sign gives me the right to give a ticket.
Okay.
So going back to why the HOA hasn't been asked. This gentleman called me. I presented him with 3 different items that he should come to the town board with. The first one was go back to the HOA themselves, go back to the developer and offer to ask him to purchase all the signs and pay for the labor. He didn't like that idea. The second one was, hey, you purchase the signs, the town employees will actually put them in for you. So you're paying for the material, we'll do the labor for free. Obviously you see he didn't like that either. He chose, and I quote, we're going to go this route first, and then we'll see where it goes from there. So he is now coming to the town board and asking the town board to pay for all materials and all labor in a neighborhood that is one way in, one way out, and the only people driving in it are their residents.
Speed. At the,
Makes sense.
there we go.
Big.
So,
I told him the second option was the best bet. Y'all pay for the materials. We would be glad to put those signs up for you. Matter of fact, most of the poles, Chief Brazil, correct me if I'm wrong, you live in that neighborhood. Most of the poles are actually already up, right? For the stop signs. So all we would need to do is go out there and hang them. Is that right? Because they got street signs on them? No, the street signs. Don't they have road signs, street names? We could hang a stop sign on that same pole, right? Okay.
So I feel like that's.
okay, so, it sounds like we do not support this. And that we're gonna go back to the requester and ask for them to pay for it, and we'll provide labor. We can offer to still provide the labor to get it done. Are we okay with that?
I would,
Or do we, since the amount is, the question is here, consider a partial approval, denial, amendment, or revision of expenditures in amount not to exceed. So I guess we could revise the expenditure, or amend this. So we do have that in the verbiage. Do we have a recommendation from the administrator?
town clerk for sure.
Yeah.
Since we know the speed limit, or since we know the stop signs are going to be astronomically more than what they are on this chart, should we just deny, or should we just deny this and then me go back to the gentleman and say, y'all can come back to us with a completely different agreement with new bidding for.
I would think the reason was for how it's written is for you as the board to either
Approve or deny.
approve or deny it.
I wouldn't.
Am I wrong on that question?
You don't want to do anything with it. You can have a motion and a vote to deny it, or you can just take no action and move on to the next one. Same difference.
So we can provide no action, ask our administrator to go back and have additional discussions around getting firm pricing, and inform him that the board is not willing to pay for the materials.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So no action.
Just to be clear, the reason I say that, that wouldn't be an issue. But I don't generally like the idea of motions to deny something, because the question is, if that fails, does it automatically pass? And we don't need to parse that out. So just don't do anything and move on.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Great discussion, everybody. All right, so financial reports. Financial report presented by Administrator Mr. Wanzik.
So just like last month, we're sitting really good for the year. We are a little bit over. I would like to give a kudos to our police department, who has been, I don't know that y'all have seen, but I've gotten a lot of phone calls that they have increased patrols around everywhere. People are seeing them and they're becoming a little bit more visible. I'd watch your speed out there. We're setting fine on our waste revenue and our water revenue. Our ambulance service fees, those are going to stay the same. Donations to the fire department, I will let Chief Brazil talk on that here in just a second. Fire reimbursement revenue, grant income, we are significantly under budgeted right now. We have put in for several grants. We're still waiting on those grants to come back. The federal government moves and the state government both move at a snail's pace. And so I hope we get some of that grant funding, but if anybody has ever put in for a grant before, I had not until I took this job. And when you do all the work to put in for a grant and then you hit the submit button, the screen just kind of goes blank. There's no like, thank you for your application. You know, we'll get back to you soon. It's just blank and you don't know anything until they call you. So I was really confused on how that worked. I wish they found a little different operation for that. Grave operations and income, that's obviously up in the air right now, but we're right where we should be, as well as the permitting. Obviously, the permitting is well above what we were expecting. We're at 135%. I'm sure y'all can realize that we're building a lot of houses inside the town of Washington right now, and people are having to get a lot of permits to build those houses. Anything as far as our tax revenue, it's going good. Our city revenue, our sales tax revenue, we're a little bit higher than what we thought we would be. So I appreciate people shopping local and doing business at, Sid's and Althea's and Simple Simons. I mean, I think my son and I support Simple Simons and keep them in business, honestly, because I love their pizza. Probably too much. Any other questions? We've got professional fees. We're a little bit over on our professional fees, but we can adjust when it comes to our training budget. And then you get down to the totals for police department and fire department. The fire department is going to show that they're way over budgeted by over 1,000%. That is specifically because we have not gotten the DEQ refunding grant. Both Chief Brazil and I have gotten an email saying DEQ has all of the paperwork that they need. And we are, how many weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks for them to even process it. Then who knows how long, Darlene, how long does it normally take them to send a check? It's DEQ. They're the ones that did the emissions grant for the. That is correct. The police department, we're a little bit over on our operating supplies and our tools and equipment, but our overall budget is fine, so we can move some from training to help cover those expenses. More importantly, our net revenue it looks a little off, and that's because your town administrator doesn't really know QuickBooks very well. Yet I'm learning. The reason it's off is the fire truck right here is listed as a net revenue that we haven't yet got reimbursement for. That's because we had to send DEQ an actual invoice through QuickBooks, and it went ahead and categorized that cost for us. So when we get that money back, it'll all even out just the way it should be. But I didn't have any way to send an invoice, right,
No.
Casey, without doing it through QuickBooks.
We could make one, but I felt that would be more
clear for the community to see through QuickBooks where that invoice was going.
So I promise we are going to get that money back. It's just whenever the federal government sends it back to us. Okay.
We believe that we'll be operating about between $20 and $30 surplus, that we're operating in the black, be in the green,
$20 surplus.
20 to 30,000.
You said.
You said dollars. That's why I looked at you. I was like, wait a minute.
I was talking a lot of numbers earlier and obviously my brain.
And it goes to, it holds true to everybody. Just like Public Administrator Klein, my door is always open. I think several of you have visited my office before. If you ever want to come in and see the checking account, if you ever want to come in and see QuickBooks, if you ever want to come in and see where any money that the town of Washington has spent, come into my office and just say, hey, I'd like to know how much the town has today. I'll pull it up on the website and we'll hash it out together. If you want to ask, why did the town purchase a set of tires for a pickup truck? Come into my office and I'll have a transaction with a memo on the bottom of it, and we'll tell you why we needed that set of tires, right? We are going to be fully transparent from here on out. And I hope that you feel comfortable enough. You can come into my office and ask those questions.
Any questions? Regarding those, we'll get to public comments, regarding the financial report. Item 8, town administrator, staff, and trustee reports. Fire department report presented by Chief. Was it?
For last month, we ran a total of 17 calls. 6 of those were medical calls, 1 grass fire, 4 motor vehicle accidents, and then we had 6 that were structure or fire investigation for lightning strike. We also attended 3 send-off escorts for the school. The DEQ grant we talked about a little bit earlier. We closed that out. We're just waiting on them to finish the process. I want to give kudos and thanks to Casey. Me and her worked and got all of the pension dues, even some stuff backdated that weren't done correctly previously. All that's caught up. All of our firefighters have got current pension. And thank you for that. That was a big weight off my shoulders. Another thing I've got, and this is kind of a question for you guys here. Me and Brandon the AHJ process. We have held some conversations with the state fire marshal and some other representatives that do AHJs. And then they carry out the inspections. For us to push it further with this, let's pull up here. Mispronounce what I get we have talked to them and we've engaged with the state fire marshal to pursue an AHJ. The next process that we have to do is we've got to give a 30-day notice of change with the city letterhead, and it needs to be approved with the meeting minutes by you guys. So we're requesting that so that we can send it into the state fire.
Okay. Can we do that since it's not an agenda item, or can we provide that for you?
In the consent agenda.
You do.
Don't see that you
Okay.
can do that.
Thank you.
And then from that point, we're going to go ahead and meet with a few of the inspection companies. Kind of go up for basically a bid process. Check to see what certifications they've got. We have talked to the state fire marshal. Couldn't really advise us. He did tell us a few to stay away from his opinion. But we want to go out and talk to a few others and maybe find somebody that can do inspections here in town. That's definitely going to help for future growth. New companies, new business coming in. We'll get back here. He's trying to get his stuff finished out, and we don't know who to turn to. So if we're stumbling and falling over, it's a learning process, but we're working through it.
Chief Brazil,
Yes.
would that be just commercial, or is the fire department going to look at commercial?
Or the residential things that will fix our problems that we haven't seen. The fire hydrants that never got installed, the signs, the 1 entry, that's stuff that somebody can catch on the 3 plans and follow through that whole process. Inspection, before they approve that, it's gonna have to go through that guy that's doing the inspection. If it's not right, then it's not. then it won't come to this table to be your head. Next month, we have not next month, this coming up weekend, we've got a training opportunity we're looking at utilizing, over at Cole Fire Department for an extrication class. I recently also learned we've got a new house that's gonna be demoed here in town over by the storage units. I'm trying to get contact with them to see if we can utilize that for the same training we're looking at doing here, across from the church. The OSU guys and instructors we talked to, they're 100% on board to come in and do this with us still. So as long as I get permission from them, we'll continue that training. And then fire duties. We've not done those in a couple of years. We've accepted the ones that are still paid up for. That is a process we're gonna start again. Something me and Brandon have been working on. We're gonna put together a flyer and a piece of paper they can fill out. They can come here to town, pay those fire dues. Maybe something to look at doing on the website as well, but we are gonna be doing fire dues here again. It's a good way for the community to give back to us. And from my understanding and what people have been telling me is that helps them out on their insurance. So we want to give them that option. That's all we got. Any questions?
Thank you. All right. Police and code enforcement report presented by Chief Ruiz.
April was busy for us. We maintain strong presence throughout the town, regular patrol, school monitoring, walkthroughs, school, activity levels increased. We're busy and we're responding to community needs. Traffic enforcement significantly increased to safeguard our community to address growing concerns with road safety within forward city hills condition. Picked up the new unit. Myself and Mary went to Claremore to pick it up Friday. There's still pretty good equipment that we need, that I need to work on, but it's operational. Actually, we did the rest the other day, which christened that new unit. I want to thank, special thanks to Clay County Sheriff's Office, Lynn Sheriff, for donating that other vehicle for us. We used it a little bit. We'll be able to use it. And then the other big thing is school's going to be out, so our personnel, our people, community is going to be increased or in double because we're going to have more kids, more family members coming through or walking through town being during the day and evenings. So we'll be looking out for that. One other big thing that we've rolled ourselves, we're participating with the Oklahoma Safety Office. We've put a ticket campaign. That campaign runs May 30th through May 31st. She'll be covering the busy Memorial Day weekends. This initiative focuses on safety enforcement and drug safety. So we'll be participating in that. For the activity overview, we had 134 traffic stops, 51 citations, 93 written warnings, 9 verbals, total 153 tickets issued. We had 38 phone contacts, 17 public interactions. We had 15 follow-ups on different cases that we've been working on. We had 2 fire department assists, 3 law enforcement assists. We had 5 citizen complaints that were registered, 4 animal complaints that were also registered that we were working through. Special assignments. We had 4 meetings. Code enforcement, we had 5 code enforcement, and then we had total of 11 follow-ups. Closing, this is all I have. You guys have any questions for me? You, Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, town clerk's report presented by town clerk, Ms. Lesher.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For the month of April, the late bounties for our utilities totaled $1,120.05. There were 6 permits issued, 5 new customers, 4 cemetery lots sold. I have been working with Aberdeen Enterprises and Easy Ticket Pay to streamline not only the town of Washington's online platform for citation collection, but in the process of working with Ron. He liked my improvements on it so much that he's implementing them for the rest of the towns that they work with. I coordinated with the engineering firm regarding planning and zoning regulations for a project here in Washington, worked with the Cedar Hills HOA regarding their request for street signs, assisted citizens with questions and concerns, help ensure their needs were addressed, especially regarding the cemetery right now. Coordinated with Chief Brazil and the Washington Volunteer Fire Department on their utility accounts, transferring them over to the town's name so that we can make sure that they're set up on auto pay, take a little bit of work off of the firemen. And participated in a impromptu team meeting with Town Administrator Wanzek on a comprehensive plan for the town of Washington that the mayor got looped in on randomly in the middle of the day. Continued working with the state auditor's office to ensure access to request documentation from First United Bank. Met with the auditors again regarding additional receipts that they were requesting, and worked with Public Works Director Lesher to assist the town of Velma regarding some water filtration. They were very interested in how that was working for the town of Washington. They were interested in implementing a very similar project for their town. And also worked with Public Works Director Ledger in the Washington Public School to ensure proper billing of both their new and old meters, as well as renaming some of them so that it's easier for the school to manage which big, long serial number for meter goes with which building. But that's all I have for you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. Town Administrator report presented by Town Administrator Mr. Wanzek.
In all honesty, I had full preparation to sit down Monday and Tuesday this week and write my report out, but I don't know if y'all are aware, I was a little tied up dealing with some citizens about a cemetery issue. We have been incredibly busy this month. We have worked with the fire department to get rolling on a lot of initiatives that are going to bring some stuff to this town that is going to do nothing but benefit its citizens. With Chief Brazil's influence and education, the AHJ, we have spent countless hours talking to the State Fire Marshal's office and researching what an AHJ actually is and figuring out some incorrect information that we had all been given a few moons ago. This is going to not only protect the fire department, but it's going to protect our town and give us some building requirements, both residentially and commercially. We have developed a comprehensive plan to set forth a historic downtown district. I know that y'all had been presented a plan to rezone everything in town. What I've done is I've asked the company with a few additions to bring me a plan that makes downtown remain downtown for all of eternity. That is going to cut out people purchasing buildings and turning them into residences. That's going to cut out strip clubs and marijuana shops and anything that would be a public nuisance in downtown Washington, right? It is also going to create a zoning issue where if you're going to build in downtown, the rest of the buildings are going to look like historic downtown Washington. We've been working with the county commissioners. I don't know if y'all are aware, but we were awarded a grant for a new bridge. I have been assured that the funding for the new bridge will be here in October, just today, right?
So the town is not being awarded the funds to build the bridge. That is being done outside of the town. But yes, we were informed today that that is.
Funds will be available in October for the construction, and that construction due to asphalt will not start until around March or April of next year. But that is also going to coincide with the Department of Transportation grant for a new sidewalk. So not only are we going to get a new sidewalk from the school all the way down the east side of Main Street, which includes all of your accessible ramps on Main Street, we're going to then get a new bridge. And I have talked to Commissioner Lyles and asked him if the county would be willing to, if Washington would pay for the materials to come in and redo all of Main Street from Moorhead all the way to the bridge. So your downtown will have a completely different aesthetics appeal to it. I met with the post office. Can I talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay. I met with the post office today. I met with their engineer. The purchase of the land has happened for a new Washington post office. Their engineer already has plans drawn up. He met with us on stormwater runoff and where we wanted to kind of divert all of the water that's going to be caused by all the cement that the post office is going to bring. It's a 3,400 square foot building with 18 parking spots. He assured us that he would take it to the design committee and make sure that the post office building front at least looked like all the rest of Main Street. The police department has been doing a great job. We did work with the county. We've got a 2018 Ford Explorer that was given to us free of charge. It does have a few miles on it, but it is a really nice car that came to the town for free that we desperately needed at the time that we got it. We have since gotten a brand new Tahoe. And I believe that's it.
Yeah, I guess to add to that, Moorhead will also has plans to be resurfaced in 2027.
Oh, Town Clerk LaShear has obtained a bid to have all brand new street signs placed in the entire town at every intersection throughout the town. We are going to make sure that that happens this fiscal year to make the town feel a little bit better. We had some money left over in this fiscal year's budget to make that happen. We have set aside money to do some more signage next year. So be prepared for that to happen. We're going to redo the stop signs and redo the school zones. And I'm probably going to move the school zones because I don't know if you're aware, but the school's making a new driveway. So we're going to ask ODOT to encompass that driveway into that school zone. And also, I believe we're going to have enough money to create us a really nice welcome to Washington sign that looks gorgeous and beautiful out here on Highway 24, just before the bridge, right?
That's yet to be determined where you'd like for me to put it.
The town is going to have a different feel. The board is very committed to investing into the appearance and just making y'all feel like your town is something to be incredibly proud of, other than the 722 state championships that they already have.
We are hoping with those street signs, I know a big complaint for our residents has been that packages are not making it to them. We're hoping that with the addition of more street signs, north, south, east, and west directionals, will help these delivery drivers actually get your packages to you.
Anything else? Any questions? No? All right, next we'll move on to public comments. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. This is you presenting information to us. We will not be able to have, just because of Open Meetings Act and decorum, we will not be able to have a back and forth dialogue on that. So before we get started, I want to first apologize for me cutting off the two individuals that were speaking earlier. We were starting to get off topic from the agenda, and because again of decorum Open Meetings Act, we have to stay on pace. It makes me extremely uncomfortable having to gavel or tell people to stop. I apologize for the way that I said that. I will find them. I will reach out and apologize to them for doing that. But with that, I'll open it up to everybody. So if there's anybody that'd like to speak, please raise your hand. Anybody else?
Anybody?
All right. Do either of you care who goes first? Yeah. All right, Ms. Bolster?
So, I guess my question is, the city employees are buying their gas in Goldstein and Versailles. Why are we not buying it locally? We're taking our revenue and giving it to somebody else. If we bring it back, we bring it back, bring it back. And that's what we should be doing. I mean, by the time you add the drive to and from, the waste time, you're not doing anything. So, like for y'all to seriously look at that.
Okay.
And I'd like you also to seriously look and see if the DOC does do straight signs. I mean, I know you want pretty and fancy and pretty, but how many kids, do you remember being a kid? I mean, sometimes you remember kids doing and street signs.
In college. They had the special screws, sorry, this is back and forth, but they had special screws.
Yeah, so just, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so, Brendan or Mr. Wanzik, with that, will you please look into, I guess, deeper into maybe the reasonings or what we can do to utilize SID's SID stop for our gas and see if there's opportunities for us to continue to support. Yeah, so I've looked into this, the quality of gas, again, I could be mistaken. I do not believe there's a quality of gas issue. So if you look at what the issues are, look to try to resolve those and see if there's an opportunity for us to support our businesses here that are within the town.
If I'm going to look into this, can I have permission to get with Chief Brazil to approach Kent as a unit and see, since they purchase so much gas over there, if he'll give us more like a slightly discounted rate for the town?
If he's, yes, if all the departments will please work together to find a way that maybe if there's an incentive or a break for us to have an agreement with them for that.
Mr. Wade, is there any way you can get me in contact with DOC for the stop signs?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Which point, both or?
Fuel.
Okay. Yeah, this has been a recurring topic and the needle really hasn't moved. I know that we have different departments using it and we're using different locations. So let's have a deeper conversation about it and come to a conclusion where we can share with everybody on reasons why or why not.
It kind of sounds bad, bragging about people using it, then the town not using it. You buy fuel.
Sorry.
And you brag about everybody else.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So lastly, do you have anything else like to add? I didn't know if you're raising your hand. Anybody else have anything like to add? Once, twice. Opportunity gone. All right. Moving on to number 10, executive session. Board of Trustees may consider retiring executive session for the purpose of consideration and discussion and the purchase lease, all right, let's restart. Consideration and discussion of the purchase, lease, acquisition, or appraisal of real property, namely Chickasaw Avenue. Do we have anything to meet or discuss on that? No. All right. No action. With that, this meeting is concluded. Thank you, everybody.